So Adar, that's two important points. The last point I think is very critical, that the SII is looking to import a batch of smallpox vaccines, number one. And number two, you're exploring the possibility of fill finish for a smallpox vaccine which already exists. For the benefit of our viewers, what does fill finish mean?
So fill finish means that once the vaccine has been produced in bulk, and any activation or inactivation of a virus from safety angles is required, and all that is done elsewhere, we have a perfectly safe product that one can inject into a human being. And so we're talking about just bottling it into the vials, labeling it, and then dispatching it. So it's sort of the second half of the process of vaccine manufacturing, where the vaccine's already produced and then it's transported in cold chain and then just bottled in the vials here in India.
So is Bavarian Nordic therefore the company that you're looking at? As I understand it, it's one of the only in the world which is licensed to manufacture vaccines against monkeypox, specifically the smallpox vaccine, or are there other groups?
No. So we're talking to them, and then once we have some arrangement or agreement with them, we can share that and see how that goes. But again, that's a decision, the government of India will eventually have to make with the experts, that should we, like other nations, start stockpiling a small quantity, just a few million doses of this vaccine. And, I'm prepared to import it at risk at my cost. Initially, in small volumes, but then eventually the government of India would have to decide on a health policy and all, which I'm sure they're working on. At the moment, we've hardly got a handful of cases in India that have been detected. So it's not really any reason to, have a knee-jerk reaction and order millions of doses and do all of that. But this is exactly the thing we need to watch closely in the next few months and talk to the experts in the government of India and see what they feel we should do. Because, we've always collaborated very well with the government as manufacturers, and we need to have that close coordination so that we don't miss a few months in doing so.
By when would you consider importing a small batch, as you talk about? By when, or is it an immediate order that you're prepared to make right away so that you can
immediately? I'm ready to do that as a security to our nation. As soon as we can have some sort of commercial tie-up to import it, and based on availability from Bavarian Nordic, we're hoping to do so. My team is talking to them right now. And then, for larger volumes, of course, we take a call based on true demand and necessity.
And by when, assuming you close out talks with them, would you be able to actually physically have those vaccines in India as a stockpile, just in case it's required?
I would say 2 to 3 months should be possible. There's some formalities and regulatory procedures to import a finished product, but of course that's nothing in comparison to what we did during the pandemic, where at every stage, from the virus seed stage, we imported everything. That's of course more complicated. This is just for an importation, and of course in a public health situation, I assume the permissions will be very swift from the health ministry. So as soon as there's availability from that company, we can get it here in 3 or 4 months and make it available to the public if required.